Hi, this is Dreama, and today we are doing a client reading. And as always, I know the client's name, and they know their name, but I won't be saying it in this video. Now, today's reading is a crystal reading, and we're going to be using my large crystal, okay? And I just want to explain a little bit about the crystal readings for those of you that haven't had one before or haven't actually seen one of these. The crystal readings are quite a bit different than the tarot card. For one thing, what I see in the crystal is normally what looks like a black and white movie. Normally, they're kind of like what I would call glimpses, because they're normally very short, okay? They're also silent, so I really don't hear anything or anything like that. It's just what looks like a short black and white silent movie. Now, this is a 5-question reading, and a little bit about the questions. The client had asked some very specific questions, like people's names and things like that. And the problem with that is I really don't know what's going to show up in the crystal, but once in a while it may show me, words that are spelled out or something like that. But to pinpoint someone's exact name or who they are, that's never really happened when I use the crystal. It'll give me clues to who this person may be, but it doesn't spell out names normally. I've never had that happen. And another thing about the questions is that, like I said, there are 5 of them. And some of the questions, I guess, I will just, go through them and hope for the best. But to be totally honest with you, I'm just not sure what we're going to get out of these crystals in regards to people's names and dates and things like that. I'm not sure that we're going to be able to be that specific. Okay, I'm going to move on, and the first question that the client wants to know is they want to know who is stealing money from their bank. There's obviously some problems going on with the client, and some people are taking money from them. And like I said, I don't know if it's going to show us names, but I've never seen a name before. But I'm going to go ahead and turn the crystal, and once I see something, then I will stop it. It normally begins kind of foggy when I see it. And sometimes it doesn't take long, and other times it takes quite a while. So let's just see what we have. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Something is showing up. It's a little foggy. Okay. Well, yeah, it's a little foggy, and I'm not seeing any. It doesn't appear to be letters. It looks as though it is. I'm seeing an office. It's what it looks like. Yeah, there's a desk, and there's a lot of people in this office. They're just lined up and down, and there's people sitting at these desks, and there's computers in front of them, and everyone seems to be typing. It's almost like a cubicle, if that makes sense. Okay. And I'm seeing a man. There's one man that is very clear compared to the other. He's wearing it looks like a dress type shirt and dress clothes. And okay, he's logging on to a computer. I'm seeing the computer now. It looks like his logon information is B and then JEFF. I think that's what it looks like, yeah. And I can't see the password. Okay. Okay, it is fading. Now it's cloudy. Okay. All right. Now, the only thing I can actually say about that is that it looks like whoever is dipping into the bank account of this client is someone in an office environment, and they're in a cubicle, and their logon information is BJEFF. I don't know if that's a name or a user ID. I really don't know what that is, but that looks like that is what information that I have for the question about who is actually dipping into the bank account. Okay, and the next question that we want to address is that the client wants to know how can they stop this person from doing that. Okay, and again, I'm just going to turn this. And as soon as I see something, I will stop. Okay. And okay, there we go. Now it's starting. It's just, there we go. Okay. I'm starting to see. Okay, it's a cell phone. It's a cell phone. And it looks like it's laying on a desk. It's laying on a desk. And that's pretty much, yeah, that's all I'm seeing, and now it's going dark. Okay, you know, the only thing that I can get from that for the client to answer the question, how do they stop this, is that for some reason it's showing me a cell phone. So I would say that to me it looks as though that the client would need to use that cell phone, make some phone calls to this place where they're taking the money. You need to speak to someone that is obviously higher up than Jeff, whoever that may be. But that's kind of what I'm getting, is that this phone, that you would need to use that to get them to stop. There has to be someone that you need to talk to, okay? All right, now let's move on to question number 3. And it looks like the client's next question is, they have some cease and desist orders that they have tried to use, and they want to know why those are not being enforced. Okay, and again, we're gonna turn the crystal. Okay, I'm starting to get something. Let's see. Okay, it's starting, the crystal is beginning to get foggy and cloudy, which is usually a sign that something's going to start. Okay. It looks like piles of money, stacks of money. They have rubber bands around them. And there's a lot of stacks of money. Yeah. And then there's a man standing next to this. And this man he has on a hat and what looks like dress clothes. He's a powerful man. He has a briefcase also. This man is powerful, you can just tell. He's very muscular. He's not at all thin. This man is very muscular. Okay, that is starting to fade. Okay. All right, well, the only thing I can say about that is that because what I saw was a pile of money and a very strong, powerful-looking man dressed in what looked like business clothes and a briefcase, that what that tells me, the way I would interpret it, is that the reason that they haven't stopped is someone is paying someone. A very powerful person is using money and influence so that this cease and desist doesn't happen. I can't tell you who that man is. I don't know. But I can tell you that he has a lot of money, and he's a very strong and powerful man. And he's the person that is actually paying someone to not stop doing this to the client. Okay, now we're going to move on to the next question. And hopefully these will help the client. Now, the next question the client wants to know is, when will this stop? Now, again, because, like I said, sometimes what I see is not specific as far as when. I may or may not see a date or a year. I never know what I'm going to see, but normally I wouldn't get like 3 or 4 words, which would constitute a date or a full name. But we'll just go ahead and see what we can get from, from the crystal, and see if it has any idea, if it can help us at all identify when this will stop. Turn it this way. It's taking a little bit longer this time. Sometimes that happens. I never know. Okay, it looks like it's starting. I can see some fog. Yes, there's fog. Okay. And, yeah, it looks like I'm seeing what looks like a field. Yeah, it's very flat. There's a field, and I think it's a garden. Looks like a garden. Yeah, it is. I see corn, and I see pumpkins, of all things. There's 3 of them, 3 pumpkins, 1 large, 2 small. And that's, wow, and corn. That is not really, it's not really helpful. Okay, it is... Okay, it looks like it is fading. All right, like I said, it's hard to tell what I'm going to see. From that, just because we're looking for a time frame, the only thing I can say is that it looked as though it was during whatever season that the corn is tall and the pumpkins are growing. It didn't appear to be fall, because by then I would assume that the corn would be gone. But the corn was still tall, and the pumpkins were starting to form. They weren't huge, but they were forming. So my guess would be summer. And what summer, I don't know, because that's pretty much all I got was summer. Okay, that does conclude my reading for today. And I would like to thank everyone for joining me. And I do hope to see you all again.